Have you ever made a mistake that felt like you ruined something? Recently, I had one of those. I was introduced to someone who could have changed my career forever, and for one reason or another, I didn't respond to the email. This choice was a mistake. I think every mistake contains a hidden blueprint that we can use to improve our lives. Your goal shouldn't be to avoid making a mistake. It should be to avoid wasting a good mistake when it does happen. Hi, I'm Ryder, and I've helped over 1 million people write a better life. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can take a mistake and with just a pen, some paper, and 5 to 10 minutes, turn that mistake into a powerful tool to rewrite your life. Let's dive in. If you're anything like me, you may default to beating yourself up when you make a mistake. How could I be so stupid, so lazy, so incompetent, so fill in the blank? Self-punishment often seems like the appropriate response to failure, but I've come to believe that it's not. What I didn't understand for the longest time is that punishment is not the same thing as accountability. It's actually a lack thereof. Beating yourself up feels like you're doing something, but it changes nothing. You're just doubling down on an identity that you don't want. I am always late. I am always disappointing people. I am always fill in the blank. But you're not. You're a person who made a mistake. The only question that matters is, what will you do about it? True accountability is about taking intentional action and making changes. How? You have to sit with your mistake, not from a place of judgment, but from curiosity. Study the system that didn't work and replace it with one that might. Next, I'll show you one of my favorite ways of doing just that. For this, you're going to need a pen, some paper, and a willingness to be honest. Once you have them, think of a mistake, something that you feel bad about, but on a scale from 1 to 10, pick something that's a 3 or a 4. You don't want to dysregulate yourself or this isn't going to work. Some good examples would include a terse text you may have sent to a sibling that you regret, or being late to something that mattered, or not sending an email that you know you should have. Something real, but not traumatic. Once you're ready for step 1. Write about what happened, just the facts. It can even be a single sentence. I was late to this meeting. I didn't respond to that email. I snapped at someone I care about. Keep it brief. You're not trying to analyze it. Just acknowledge it. Acknowledge what happened. Be honest without being judgmental. Pause now and write it down. Step 2. Write down how you feel about it. Now, this one's a little bit tricky. You don't want to write down what you think, you want to write down what you feel. Check in with your body. Maybe it's embarrassment, maybe it's guilt, maybe it's frustration. If you don't have the words for the emotions, use words for sensation. Maybe it's tight or heavy or cold. You're just looking at the feeling without the story. Not, I'm angry that I forgot about the email. Instead, I feel tense, my shoulders hurt. I have deep ache and sadness. No extra story. Just observation. This step can help us connect with the impact of whatever system we were running that isn't working, the system that created that mistake. 3. What did you learn? Now this is where it gets interesting. Write down at least one thing that you learned from this mistake. But there's a rule. It cannot be a judgment about yourself or others. So it's not about, I learned that I'm lazy, or I learned that I'm bad at this. It has to be strategic. Tactical. What is the system that didn't work here? In my case, I learned that I tend to avoid replying to emails that feel life-altering because they make me feel nervous, and I want to take the time to think about them. Press pause here, write it out, and then press play when you're ready. Step 4. What would you do differently next time? Now, it's important again not to come from a place of judgment, like I'll try harder or command ourselves to be better. Instead, we want to write out something that's specific and actionable. If the same situation happened again tomorrow, what would you actually do differently? For my example, it would be to immediately schedule a time that I can block out on my calendar when I receive an email that has a certain level of importance. That way, every time I get one of those emails, I'm not avoiding or missing opportunities that I'm fortunate enough to have come my way in the first place. Step 5. What's one thing you can do right now? Now we want to put this insight into action. Send the apology you've been avoiding. Put a reminder in your calendar. Reach out to the person you let down. Whatever it is, write down the action and then do that. The one rule here is the action cannot be against yourself. No punishment, no cruelty. No, I'm going to be harder on myself. The action should be something that is for you. It uplifts you. It allows you to be in integrity with your word. Punishing yourself has never once changed a pattern. Acting differently is the only thing that will. The main takeaway here is you're going to keep making mistakes one way or the other. That's not the question. The question is, will you be hard on yourself or do the hard thing? Will you say sorry when it's uncomfortable? Build a system when you're embarrassed that you need it? Clean it up even when part of you doesn't think that you deserve a second chance? With every action, you create a piece of evidence for a new identity. You are a person who apologizes, is on time, makes things right. That's how you rewrite your life, one mistake at a time. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you want to go deeper with this kind of reflective practice, consider checking out our foundation program, where we use writing as a tool to build a life that actually reflects who we want to be. For more information, scan this code or check the link down below. Thank you for taking the time. I'll see you in the next one.